translates in the Hebrew language as Yahweh. So I went on to Amazon Prime. I was like, you know what, let me see if there are any documentaries on Yahweh. So went in the search bar, typed in Yahweh, that came up. Went out and shared it on my platform. That was my night. In terms of the backlash or what people call it, we're in 2022. History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. And I'm not a divisive person when it comes to religion. I embrace all walks of life. You see it on all my platforms. I talk to all races, all cultures, all religions, and my response would be, it's not about educating yourself on what Semitism is and what anti-Semitism is. It's really about learning the root words of where these come from and understanding that this is an African heritage that is also belonging to the people. Africa is in it, whether we want to dismiss it or not. So the claims of anti-Semitism and who are the original chosen people of God, and we go into the name translates in the Hebrew language as Yahweh.
Some of us used to be in the club.
I just Googled some of his lyrics. I ain't never heard what he's in the red, but I'm going to show you that you are being programmed to destruction. This is Playboy Cardi's Sky lyrics. It's the first of the month. I brush my teeth and count up. I let my bitch roll my blunt. Right off the top, he calling the black woman a bitch. Do you agree with that? Bring it up. You don't. So why you listening to that garbage? Right. Bring it up. All right. Do you agree with it? No. Stop listening to that garbage. Let this about. I just Googled
participated in proportionate numbers in both slave trading and in slave owning, especially in some of the Caribbean islands. In fact, if you go to Suriname, they have a beautiful synagogue there that's been preserved with a sand floor and beautiful declarations. You'll also notice a lot of the street names are named after Jewish families that were prominent plantation owners there, but they owned slaves. And if you know anything about the slavery experience in the sugar plantations in Suriname and in Curacao, it was the most brutal, awful slavery you could imagine. Amputating limbs, working the slaves to death, not even bothering to feed them or care for them in any way, because they were cheap to just import more. I mean, it really was some of the worst experiences of slavery to be found, and Jews were a part of that society and a part of that experience, both in the Caribbean and also in the American South.
There came a time in my life when I realized that what I was taught about the Bible was a lie. In my confusion, I cried out for help. I met an Israelite who introduced me to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, who is described in the Bible as having hair white as wool and eyes red as fire. Yes, the God in the Bible is black.
Hebrew, that's what you were in the Bible. This is what Nick Cannon told the people and got in trouble.
One of the reasons why I feel honored to speak. Why, and this is just a question that I have, and even coming from that aspect that if the true children of Israel, if we're speaking of the Jewish community, if we're speaking of the Abrahamic faith, why is this division? Why is it such a problem? Why is there so much fear, specifically in the black community, in the Jewish community? Why is it such a problem to speak the truth?
It became a problem for us because of the propaganda machine. But it's more of a problem for them,
right?
Because they've taken our birthright.
If I go to sensitive history, well, then I must quote sources that say it rather than that I say it. This is a fascinating book, and the web pages are there, you can check it out. Fascinating book, and the web pages are there, you can check it out. Facts are facts. This is a book that was written by a Jewish man. And he confronted the thinking of many of the high-placed individuals of the world. This is interesting stuff. In this book, Benjamin H. Friedman, a Jewish man, writes about the Jews and reveals an interesting history. He states that the present Jews in Palestine are not the true descendants of the Judeans, but rather descendants of the Khazars. In the letter addressed to D. David Goldstein of Boston, Massachusetts, a convert to Catholicism, the author, Benjamin Friedman of New York City, dated October 1954, provides some fascinating insights. This is in the public domain.
Before you guys leave. I was thinking when I was on my way over here, I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. Before you guys leave. I was thinking when I was on my way over here, I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. Every day of my life, I approach it with a state of empathy, right? Regardless of what color, what creed, what race you are, I look at people as human beings. I think that's important. But life is always about taking a stand and holding principles. So I want to explain what I feel like my stance is as a black male in this world, okay? And conversations that I've had with my brothers and sisters in the black community. And I want you guys to empathize with it and hear me on it. So when I hear what Kyrie Irving has to go through in order to be reinstated, I'm appalled. And let me give you examples of how I feel like we don't have the same energy and hold other people who have dealt with racial tropes accountable. So when Sarah Silverman does blackface, or when Don Imus says nappy-headed hose, or when Howard Stern calls somebody the N-word in the skit, or when Brett Favre takes money from the state of Mississippi, we don't ask them to get sensitivity training. We don't ask them to donate $500,000. We don't ask them to meet with the Black National Caucus. They apologize, and then you know what? The rest of the world moves on. But what I feel like is happening here, and that's how in the black community, like we've been told that's how the process works, right? Think about that, Bert. That's how the process works. Oh, somebody does a blackface. Oh, it was a misunderstanding. We got it. Okay. You know, is that person really racist? Probably not. Was it ignorant? Probably so. Okay. We understand it. We move forward. We don't like it. We would love to hold them accountable. But society and having a lot of black people in positions of power, we don't have the governability to do that.
I know you're going through a lot. We had a chance to hang out in 2016 when you represented America, when you represented the red, white, and blue. You only want to be treated fair. I was going to post something on one of my social media pages, but I decided to do it the old school way and read it out to you because you're a great person, great father, great athlete, and you believe what you believe. America is the land of the free. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and supposedly freedom to choose. Never be controlled by money. I respect you for having some integrity and being your own man. A free mind makes its own choices, and a slave mind follows the crowd. Stand for something or fall for anything. One man can lead a revolution to stand up and fight for what's right. One choice, one word, one action can change the world. It's crazy how people hate you for being a leader. I hope your actions encourage many others to stand up and say enough is enough. Respect to you, Kyrie, and power to the people. Kyrie, what's up?
Comes from a Kemetic word, Haibri, which means the ones who crossed over. So when Africans during the 6th dynasty saw these Indo-Europeans, they were part brown, they were melanated people.
Right.
They were coming across, they called them the ones who crossed over, or Haibri. And the leader of the group that would bring them across was called Haibrahim, which is where you get the word Abraham from.
Yeah, right.
And Hebrew. So that we're talking about an illusion. We're arguing over something that doesn't exist.
Right.
The word Hebrew comes from a Kemetic word, Haibri, which means the ones who crossed over. So when Africans during the 6th dynasty saw these Indo-Europeans, they were part brown, they were melanated people.
Right.
They were coming across, they called them the ones who crossed over, or Haibri. And the leader of the group that would bring them across was called Haibrahim, which is where you get the word Abraham from.
Yeah, right.
And Hebrew. So that we're talking about an illusion. We're arguing over something that doesn't
Yours
exist.
is a voice of criticism we don't often hear in the United States. Often when there is dissent expressed in the United States against policies of the Israeli government, people here are called anti-Semitic. What is your response to that as an Israeli Jew?
Well, it's a trick. We always use it. When from Europe somebody is criticizing Israel, then we bring up the Holocaust. When in this country people are criticizing Israel, then they are anti-Semitic. And the organization is strong and has a lot of money, and the ties between Israel and the American Jewish establishment are very strong, and they are strong in this country. As you know, they have power, which it's okay. They are talented people, and they have power, money, and media, and other things. And their attitude is Israel, my country, right or wrong, the identification. And they are not ready to hear criticism. And it's very easy to blame people who criticize certain acts of the Israeli government as anti-Semitics, and to bring up the Holocaust and the suffering of the Jewish people, and that justify everything we do to the Palestinians.
How powerful
was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States. It read, "When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable build-ups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind."
This was in the 90s.
Yeah, this is what we got to do to all them Nikes, y'all. And them Adidas. It ain't about what you wear, it's about who wear it. How y'all gonna denounce that man because he a Jew, nigga? We all Jews. What y'all talking about? We all Jews. Y'all gotta throw it away, man. Burn it. 'Cause I don't give no damn about it.
The thing is like, yo, when we gonna wake up? We here now. I'm a couple billion strong. You a couple billion strong. You a billion strong. You a billion strong. Why we keep waiting on to get approved from them? We got the resources. We got the resources. Let's go. But they ain't gonna do that.
Why not?
It go, like I said, you got your field, nigga. You got your house, nigga. I mean, they made it. They there. They cool with them and whoever they deal with. They ain't for the people. They for their people.
Still a powerful drug house?
No, sir. No, sir.
So,
with Kanye whole thing.
So this just came out. Nike is kicking Kyrie Irving to the curb. No place for hate speech. Now, first question, what hate speech did Kyrie use? from my understanding, it seems like he's being suspended because reporters stuck microphones in his face and wanted him to say something, and he didn't want to say whatever they wanted him to say. Hey, Kyrie, are you an anti-Semite? Kyrie's like, why are you even coming at me with that? And they're like, no, but are you an anti-Semite? Why are you even coming at me with that? And now, because he doesn't use the words that you want him to use, because he's not speaking whatever you want him to speak, y'all are going to start just cutting his deals, suspending him. Where in America does it say that I have to say what the media tells me to say? Where's the smoke for Amazon? I'm somebody who has words. I'm very good with words. I have no words to describe what's happening here. I don't understand it. It doesn't add up. To me, this seems quite plain and clear. This is the system taking an African American person with an opinion and saying, no. Don't say what you're saying. Say what we tell you to say. Otherwise, kick rocks. And his opinion is not anti-Semitic. His opinion is literally this. You guys are calling me anti-Semitic, and I'm not going to engage with you on that BS because I'm not. Leave me alone. So this just came out.
50 years ago told my granddaddy that when my daddy got free, things would be better. When he got grown. Now my daddy's grown. Somebody told my daddy that when I got grown, things would be better. Now I'm grown. Now I have the white boy today telling me that when my children get grown, things will be better. Selves. They want to go for self. They want to pool together and unite like the Jews did. At one time, Jews and dogs wasn't allowed on Miami Beach. And the Jews got mad and united and bought Miami Beach.
Anti-Semitic. You've many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made a mention a couple of times about the Jews and everything, and I'm wondering if you are personally anti-Semitic.
No. How can I be anti-Semitic when the Arabs are half the Muslim world is Semitic? If I was anti-Semitic, I'd be anti-Arab and anti-everything else. No, I think that in this country, there's one mistake that the Jews make. They put themselves in a position where whenever anybody gives an objective analysis of the role that they play, they defend themselves by accusing you of being anti-Semitic. And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.